Hello, you beautiful people out there. Wonderful souls in the world. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's focusing on the mind, body, spirit. This video is just going to be some random thoughts. Been definitely thinking about a lot of things, trying to find solutions within my own life. Trying to figure out what's going on in the world, as always. Sometimes overthinking, but hey, we all do it. But I wanted to bring up, we're about 10 days into the new year here, and I've been noticing something where, a lot of people say, it's going to get worse before things get better. And there's definitely truth to that. That's definitely something that I've noticed where, you got to go through trials, tribulations, adversity, and things get better, usually. But I kind of want to bring up, let's bring up the year 2000. I remember that specifically, that new year. And I remember before, I was around 10 years old then. And I remember before that new year took place, there was a lot of panic. And there was a lot of fear of, what could happen. There's plenty of talk about, people stocking up food, underground bunkers, basically the same thing you hear before 2012 or or any big event before the year started. And it's kind of like the same thing is happening again, for the year 2024. And you'll see in a lot of comments, in a lot of conversation I've been happening, you'll see just a lot of people really like raising the fear levels within themselves and with people around them. And it's, there's one thing making predictions and, people obviously looking at patterns in past history and kind of calling things what could happen. But there's another thing where I think people are not really knowing they're doing all the time. Some do, but I think people are really, focusing on the negative, just to put it simply here. And so in the year 2000, everyone's like, oh, who knows what's going to happen? And let's just, party hard and let's live like it's going to be our last couple days. And then 2000 happens, boom, world's still here. 2012, Mayan calendar ends. Before that, everyone's stocking up on canned foods, underground bunkers. We're all still here. Fast forward till now, 2024. What's going to happen? Big election year in America. We have our election year in 2025 here in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But I know it's coming up soon as well. And so really, I could say the same thing. This year, 2024, it's going to be crazy. We don't know what's going to happen. But in the same breath, in the same sentence, there's going to be some amazing things that happen this year. And not specifically just, there's going to be children born. There's going to be people that get over addictions. There's going to be people that have been down and in the rock bottom of their lives with bills and maybe being stuck in a rut for years, that finally figure it out and finally get their life organized. I believe, well, I can sense and feel there's a huge shift in the world too, mentally especially, where you see folks really focusing on the power of their thoughts. And we're understanding that, we make our own reality. And the specific thoughts that we have, man, they have some power to them. I really learned that the last 3 months. Our thoughts really they really shape our reality. And so I'd like to focus on having not just positive thoughts, but really staying optimistic and keeping control over my thoughts, trying to become, a high value man, striving for that. Obviously, if you watch a lot of YouTube, you'll see a lot of these dating podcasts where you look at it and you hear some of the OnlyFans girls and some of these, promiscuous men, and you could watch those, and it's easy to lose hope in like the dating scene as well. But again, in the same breath, there's a lot of people out there, men and women, that still want traditional relationships, monogamy, and we want to build each other up in these relationships rather than, tear each other down and use one another and cheat and lie. So it's just, I guess what I'm trying to say is tread carefully. Tread carefully with these thoughts that we have, especially when they're negative. And having a growth mindset is not only so much more powerful, but it's just more productive in this world. Now, again, everything's, a paradox, and there's always two sides to all these thoughts, right? Someone may be going through a tough time in life, might not agree with me as much because of their mindset. And that's fine. I totally understand. I lost a best friend in 2023, and there was definitely a few months there where, it was very difficult to stay positive. And I'm sure many of you can relate to that. So, and what I've really noticed too, and what's helped me, is just gaining control over my mind. And I'll always say the same simple stuff. The way that I did that was consistently eating right, good food, exercise, and self-education of things like psychology, spirituality, and science. That's what interests me. So if there's a lesson that I took, it's really, go back to the Stoicism philosophy here. It's really split things into two piles every time you make a decision. And what's out of your control and what's in your control. Keep it simple. And what's in your control, that's where you put all your focus in. the things that are in your control. So if people really want to make a change in this world, you got to start within. You need to start within, man. And it's as simple as that. I think it's easy to get very confused and caught up, and the panic levels rise, fear levels rise when we're trying to control everything in the world. And it's easy to get caught up in people's opinions and random thoughts on YouTube comments, and also with the algorithms that we have on our YouTube and social media. I would suggest clean that up. Clean it up. Get rid of all the garbage, man. Get rid of all the toxicity channels. The things that really, again, up your fear and panic levels. And I would suggest really focus on things that can make your thoughts productive. And that'll radiate out to the world. It's simple when you think about it. It really is. So yeah, just some random thoughts, it's the power of the mind, the power of our thoughts, showing compassion in this world. We need to keep reminding ourselves every day that we can make a difference, but it has to start with us, the individual. It has to start within our minds. And so, yeah, I'm here to remind not only everybody out there, but this is to remind myself too. On a beautiful night here, doing a little hike, feeling good, feeling the burn. And we need to stay optimistic. We can't drown in these sorrows and our depression. And another thing I learned from philosophy is, paradoxically, you can use your depression. If you're having a lot of thoughts of depression, anxiety, and fear, those are signs that you probably need to make a change within your life. And you can really turn those signs in to almost like a curative formula and use it as fuel. Use it as fuel and motivation. Because anyone can change their life in one day. No matter if you have things going on in your life that are frustrating you, no matter if you have an addiction, you can find the power and the will within yourself to make your life better and to live a more fulfilling life. I've been learning too, it's not about the pursuit of happiness. It's about the pursuit of a meaningful life. That's where you find true fulfillment and true motivation. And again, motivation, it comes from within, but it needs to be renewed every day. And learning this from Andrew Huberman, he was talking about when you do things that you really don't want to do every day, whether it's working out, a physical activity, whatever it is, and you force yourself and you push to do it, it's an amazing thing that happens in the brain. It's this will. It's this will that you never knew that you had, but it's there in all of us. It's there in all of us, man. And understand that any human being can find this beautiful, blissful miracle of a will, this feeling, this emotion, this power, this positive power, and first use it to better yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup, and that'll radiate out towards the world. So please find the motivation. Don't get sucked in and drown in people's negative views of the world. Don't. Be a light. Be a light in this darkness. And let's lift each other up. Because that's the only way. That's the only way. And that's the only world I want to think of. You can call me naive, stupid, whatever it is. But I'm going to stay optimistic, because that's the only way I want to live. So yeah, just some random thoughts there. Hope everyone's feeling good. Hope everyone's feeling great. If you guys could, leave a little like, please comment. I want to know your thoughts, insights on life, anything you've been thinking about. Because, we're all here for each other. So please comment. Let me know what's going on in your brain out there. And I will definitely respond to anybody and to all. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Love you.